So number one, form of lists have gone out. Um, so should be getting those trickling in. Number two, the three ABC charitable forms have gone out, so those should be coming back. Did you guys get the PDFs that I sent you of the annual report and the budget? Okay, what
Yes.
did, are you okay
Yep.
with the annual report?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I know last week I had mentioned putting something in there about the real estate sales, but really that would go into next year's because those are the ones that are going to be looked at for this coming round of assessments. So I just thought keep it simple this time around. Is basically identical other than obviously the numbers. So this is due on Friday. I will get it to the selectmen so they have it.
Sounds good.
Number four, the budget. We finally got our budget sheets and they want that in by Friday as well. So the printout, the original budget, other than the salaries, so where we start with appraisal services, 500, that's our budget going down to the bottom. So again, it's really simple, but I do want to mention that ignore, like if you look at dues and subscriptions, we're over by $360. That's a mistake. We actually we got double billed for Marshall and Swift's residential handbook. So we're really over by only $25 because some of the services went up. So I would suggest that on the dues and subscriptions, we go up to 1,400 just to be safe because the prices have gone up. I don't like being that minus 360 should really be minus $25. So we can either go, or it's actually a little over 25. So we probably should bring that up. I know the finance committee doesn't want us increasing it, anything, but it's out of my control that the subscriptions have gone up and, I need these on the, so are you okay with like upping that to 1,400?
Yes.
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 The appraisal services line, that's actually, we've been putting $500 in there for the last couple of years, and that was Ray's idea. So we'll have the money available not this coming fiscal year, the following fiscal year, we will be in reval where we'll be required to do the appraisal for the Glendale Power Plant. And so he's been putting money in there. So we'll have the $2,000 for that appraisal. I can't guarantee the guy that used to do the appraisal is still around. Rumor has it he may have retired. So I guess we'll deal with that at the end of this year and see if he's still around. Postage should be fine. We have about $1,000 that we haven't even spent in postage. Although we might go through that 1,000, we'll go through some of it because I have a feeling we're going to have to do the personal property second homeowner study, which because it's every 6 years and we're due for it. So I'm sure the state will be sending out a notice that we have to get prepared for that. So that'll be something that goes out to every single second homeowner. So we'll be gobbling up a little bit of the postage in the $1,000 that we still have. This 400 we haven't even touched yet. So what we'll do is, like we always do, as soon as we get closer to the end of the fiscal year, we'll put in whatever's left in the postage, and we should be okay. I don't know if rates are going up again, but I haven't heard anything. Office supplies, we're okay with keeping that where it is. Meetings and travel, I would say leave it. We may end up getting it cut anyway because, well, I'm not traveling to school anymore, and I highly doubt that we're going to we'll probably do everything with Zoom online for school again. I have to take at least one course for my USPAP course for the satisfaction of, appraisal review that I'm going to need. I need it for this coming November. So if they offer it through a Zoom meeting, we're going to have to pay for that. So there'll probably still be some education money. So I would say leave that alone until it's questioned. It may not be, but the thing is, how many meetings are we really going to have with COVID? Are we going to be out of it by, summer or fall? I don't know. So, I mean, it's a big what if, like, should we take any money out of there or just leave it? The appellate tax board, I wanted to mention this. I didn't put it on the agenda because we just got one in on Friday. I did get a scheduled meeting for the appellate tax board, and it did say Boston, but then I started reading it, closer. They're not allowing anyone to travel, which is great for me. Everything has to be done either over a phone meeting or a Zoom meeting with the taxpayer, the town, any legal reps, and the appellate tax board. And that says until further notice. So I was relieved about that, even though it said Boston. We don't have to go out to Boston. And that's, some money is usually in the meetings and travel just in case we have to and I have to stay there, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So if you're okay with it, I would say leave the office or the meetings and travel until the finance committee brings it up, and then I can say, well, maybe we don't need this right at the moment because of COVID, but who knows what it's going to be like before summer gets here. It's unknown, and I would love to go if they offer it, but I don't think they're going to. But one way or another, I'm going to have to take courses. It's going to require money coming out of that fund. So what do you think about that? Just leave it alone? We've always left it alone and it's been fine, but there's been rumblings that, they want us to cut our budgets here and there. And I don't know if they say that every year. I don't know if that's true.
I should leave it for now, Mike, and see what happens when you have your meeting.
Yeah,
and the thing is, I didn't even have a meeting with them last year.
yeah. Especially you can explain that if it's during COVID, you certainly can most likely reduce it, but you're going to have to be fighting for it in the following year.
Yeah,
right.
Assume you need to go back. And it's easier to say that in person than if we just cut it now. Then a year from now, you'll be fighting.
That's true.
Back.
That's what I'm afraid of. You give it back, and then we're not getting it back.
right. And obviously, if you don't use it, if you don't have to use it, then it's going to go back into the general fund anyway. So
exactly. Yep. Are you okay with that, Tom?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to submit this with just a small increase in the dues and subscriptions, and I mean, $50. I don't think is going to break the bank. And again, we haven't heard anything about cost of living adjustments or anything like that. I know they're doing a little things differently this year. That's all them. Let them tell us where we're going in that direction, whatever direction that may be. Number 5, I'm done with the deed changes, and I've already gone through the map changes. I just have to print the registered maps from the registry's website and send those out. So they're either going out on Friday or, depending on how many days I'm here, Friday or the following Monday to Cartographic. So we should be, we're right on schedule with those going out. So those should be fine. You guys are going to have to sign the first big motor vehicle commitment. I know they want those. Tammy, when are those bills going out? February 8th, the bills are going to be going out for those. It's the big one that we, have to get out as fast as we can. The denials from last week's meeting are all typed up for you guys to sign. And I thought what we'll do this time is we'll have enough time. There's only 4 more to go over. And if any of them are denials, I can have those typed up so every single one can be signed when you guys come in.
Yeah.
We also received one late application on a personal property bill that I have to have you sign a late application form and get that out. So there'll be quite a few things to sign. And I did put those little tabs on everything, and Tammy will too, so you know exactly where to go on those. So we only have 4, I think it's 4.
So Mike.
Yep.
So the late application on the personal property.
Yeah.
Is it, I know we can't review it, but does it have some validity to it?
it was one of those iffy leasing companies that I wasn't sure. I mean, we picked, it's called Quadrant Leasing, and typically if they send a form of list, we will pick it up. And then they didn't put any indication that they weren't taxable. They sent it to us, so I listed them, and I was going to send a letter with that saying, look, we'll take you off the records. It's just that it's out of our jurisdiction because you filed late.
Okay. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that was that we can't do anything now, but at least maybe we can address it for next year so they don't have to appeal.
Yeah, and the form of list would have already gone out. So with the batch that we just sent out. So what we'll do is in my letter to them, I'll also state that there's no need for them to keep sending in a form of list, because, you know, if they don't put a note on, because there are leasing companies that I do pick up that are, you know, true businesses, and that's all they do. They don't have like a Coke machine that goes to one business that we shouldn't be taxing. And that's what this one is. And it's so hard to figure out when you're going through these forms, if it's a leasing company that you should pick up, or if the leasing company, I kind of almost wait until the bill goes out and thinking, all right, they're going to tell me whether or not this is something they should be paying. And this is one of those, but it's so late. But I think I think it's not even a huge amount. It's under $100. So, I mean, it's not going to break the bank, but I'll put a note in there that we'll take them off. They won't get another bill going forward. And that will be it for all the abatements. But the exemptions, though, there's still a few exemptions that they have until April 1st. There's at least 2 or 3 that haven't come back, which is weird. But I think what we'll do is send a note to them, call them. I won't mention who they are on here, but they're regular filers it's weird that we haven't gotten their forms back yet or heard a word from them. So we'll actually call them and remind them they have until April 1st to get that form back. I'd like to get it done, you know, in February. So we're going forward and all these things are finished, which they will be. So Gary, do you want to do the call to go into executive session, and also mention that we won't be going back into public forum?
Sure. I make a motion that we go into an executive session to discuss abatements. And at the end of that session, we will not be returning to a public forum. And then I would just ask a roll call vote. So Doug?
In favor, Doug.
Tom?
Yes, in favor.
And yes for me, Gary Pitney. So we're going to go into executive session.
Great. Thank you.